This is the 5 tech things you should know about episode number 48 for July 23rd, 2010, and it's brought to you by Mosey.com. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here over on the 5 tech things you should know about TV-azine with the Association of Geek-azine, brought to you over on the techpodcast.tv, brought to you on VodPod, brought to you in many different places. You can catch all this content. Of course, we also have the weekly podcast, we have the Day in Tech History, and a lot of the special media feed. We're going to be putting out some more of that very, very soon. So subscribe to all those channels, and that would be great. I'd appreciate it much. Of course, you know it, I know it, we all know it. I'm going to Blog World New Media Expo. I'm heading out the track for the session of Digital Broadcasting Committee. What do you want to see? What do you want to hear out there? I also have to ask a question. How many of you are actually techie people that are in the digital broadcasting media, doing shows, doing blogs, doing whatever in social media that's not tech? I want to know this. I want to know what your thoughts are, because I want to build a show around you just as much as I want to build a show around techies. So please give me a call, let me know, send me an email, tell me what you think should be at these tracks, and even if you want to be a panelist on one of these tracks, it's very possible. All right, folks, it's your life online. You need to back it up. Remember that code GEEK, G-E-E-K, get you 10% off that already low price over at Mosey.com. $4.95 a month. It's the price of a hard drive per year. It backs up your data, your pictures, your videos, everything. Back up now, back up often, back up off-site with Mosey.com. Use the code GEEK, and you're getting an additional 10% off that already low price. So be protected of your data and get that done now. Back up now, back up often, back up off-site with Mosey.com. All right, folks, you've heard the news. Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, 500 million users. Wow, that's a great milestone. I wish Geekazine had 500 million users, but in all reality, we're not Facebook, and that's okay. Programs like Farmville, Mafia Wars, of course, they litter into Facebook. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people just hide it and just continue on. But you can't ignore a number like that, 500 million. No wonder Mr. Paul Siglia wanted 84% of Facebook. It's just a powerhouse right now. However, Facebook is not the best thing when it comes to customer support. Of course, do you call Facebook for customer support? Yeah, my Facebook is down. You know, do you email them? What's the deal there? I've never had to call a social network for support. I suppose when it comes to something like somebody stalking somebody doing something illegal and stuff like that, you report them and you move on. It usually takes a week or two for getting an email back saying, hey, you know, this is what's happening over here. But I've never really had a problem, any type of customer support with Facebook. And then again, I'm not the average person. So what do you think? Have you had any problems with Facebook? Have you gotten off of Facebook? I just listened to an interesting podcast where they had two people pitted against each other. One person that's not on Facebook and one person that's on Facebook. And the person that's not on Facebook makes a very good point that when you're at your job 8 hours, how many times do you look at your Facebook? How many times do you respond on your Facebook? Those pretty interesting numbers right there. The privacy issues, of course, they scored a 64 out of 100. That's the bad side of things. They're not the worst, but they are worse than things like newspapers, things like print, things like, and other stuff like that. Google is even worse than that. They score an 80 as opposed to a 64. So interesting stuff. Good luck to Facebook. Congratulations on the 500 millionth user. All right, we're talking a little bit about Yahoo today. We're talking about Yahoo and Microsoft. Last year, Carol Bartz sold up the search properties to Microsoft for Microsoft to actually build up. And a lot of people are wondering what was going on, especially with the fact that they just put out Bing. And is this going to be a good thing? Is this going to be a bad thing? Well, they just started rolling out the new changes of Microsoft into Yahoo. This is over on CNET, this picture over here. And basically the highlighted yellow boxes are pretty much where Microsoft's inserting their content. The search results are going to be pretty much the same. It's just that Microsoft is controlling the search engine now. They're controlling the results, and they'll be able to do some cross-integration on search results between Bing and Yahoo's search algorithms. So you might still see some search results difference if you search on Yahoo and you search on Bing. But for the most part, they're going to start to sync up, and they're going to be pretty close to each other with little differences. And of course, the ads are the big thing. All right, if you're a Ford person, you're looking for a brand new car, you might want to check this out on July 26th. Ford, along with Mike Rowe of the Discovery Channel's Dirty Jobs, of course, he's the spokesperson for Ford, they're going to be coming out with the new Ford Explorer over on Facebook. We just talked about Facebook, but this is going to be pretty interesting. They're going to use Facebook to explain what's new about the Ford Explorer, what's new about this 2011 model. Now, we didn't get to see the Ford Explorer when we were out in Michigan a couple months back, so this is going to be really exciting. Ford has done a lot in the technology space. Of course, the biggest thing is their Microsoft Sync system that's in all the cars. The new version of the Sync system, you'll be able to plug in a USB type EVDO or 3G card and actually use your vehicle to become a wireless hotspot. You'll be able to download your Stitcher, you'll be able to download your Pandora, you'll be able to do the mapping, and you'll be able to do all that stuff. And you'll be able to do some cool social networking and other stuff too. So it's very exciting. I can't wait till July 26th. I will be watching, and hopefully maybe I'll get the inside track, some embargo information, to really be able to post a good article for you come July 26th after the announcement. We'll see what happens, and I'll keep you abreast of the whole situation. Big news in the e-reader front, even though nothing really big has come out here. Basically, Kindle's Jeff Bezos came out and said, Kindle's doing great. We're beating hardcovers by 49%. And I'm thinking to myself, hardcovers? Seriously? What about paperback books? What about magazines? What about that type of stuff? I don't know. But he said hardcovers, and he said specifically hardcovers, which makes me really weary about that fact. But let's talk a little bit about e-readers, because they have had some momentum. The biggest thing is iPad is actually crushing the Kindle, and it's also crushing the Kindle and Read test. You can actually read on an iPad better, 10.7% better than you would on a Kindle. That's a pretty interesting number right there. Of course, you have some other e-readers out there. Sony's got an e-reader. We've got different companies with their different e-readers. This one right here is the Pandigital e-reader. You can find it over at different areas, Bed Bath & Beyond. It's about $169, but you're going to get what you pay for. This is, if you compare this to the iPad has a 1 gigahertz processor. I believe this only has a 533 megahertz processor. The real question is, what is the magic price of an e-reader? Is it $99? Is it $50? Before you start buying those e-readers, what's the magic price? Let me know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is named Steve Ortiz, and he's a teenager, and he's standing next to his 2000 Porsche Boxster. And you're going, how does a kid like that have a Porsche Boxster? Did you know that he got this from a cell phone? An old cell phone, nonetheless. Well, how did he do that? Well, this is how he did it. He got an old cell phone for free. He traded it in for an iPod Touch. He then traded the iPod Touch for a series of dirt bikes. He always upgraded to the next dirt bike from there. He then took the dirt bike and traded it for a MacBook Pro. He then traded the MacBook Pro for a Toyota 4Runner. He then traded the Toyota 4Runner for an off-road golf cart, which would be cool enough as it is, but then he traded the off-road golf cart for a really nice dirt bike. Then he traded for a motorcycle. Then he traded for a car. A few car swaps. He traded for a 1975 Ford Bronco, and then finally he traded for this 2000 Porsche Boxster. He's not done yet, folks. This is a 2000 model. He probably wants something 2010, so he might be doing some trading. Now, how did he do all this trading? Craigslist. Interesting stuff. If you're out there and you're looking and you're doing some active deals, you might get yourself a 2000 Porsche Boxster, especially if you need a new car. And that's the 5 tech things you should know about. My name is Jeffrey Powers, www.geekazine.com. You can also contact me at 608-205-4378 or geekazine@gmail.com. Go over to the website, check out the other stuff, the Day in Tech History, the weekly podcast, and we will see you next week on the 5 tech things you should know about. Take care.